Harbour Shops was conceived initially as a very upscale shopping center for a fashion-oriented client. They expect us to pay attention to the details. They expect to come in and find an environment that's very warm and welcoming to them. We've been here since 1965, and we've been a very innovative and successful business throughout. We were found to be the most productive in terms of sales per square feet. We're the best mall out there. Before we met R2, Bal Harbour Shops was operating as well as good. And if you would have come into the shop back then, you would have seen us operating on a couple of servers, and the entire connectivity would have been probably a single DSL line and a dozen phone lines on that level.
The relationship started with Bal Harbour going out looking for a new provider to facilitate their needs. They had serious customer service issues, and they had some technology needs that weren't being met. So R2 was able to come in, help them out, perform the customer service piece of it, as well as let them grow and diversify their technology infrastructure.
We wanted to find a solution that would allow us to grow without having to go through the pain of moving four-wire telephones around. We wanted a system that would allow us to integrate the solution, so whatever we came up with for the one office would work for the second office. And we wanted to have the capacity to accommodate the additional people, the bandwidth and the footprint to let them come on board and be productive.
The experience is super important. I mean, this is very exclusive, exclusive gets as far as high-end retail. You know, one of the biggest players in the world in that perspective. The first thing we needed to do is actually come in, sit down, talk with their staff and find out what their needs were, what needs weren't being met. So once we were able to do that, we figured out that they're just not where they need to be as far as a technology perspective. They didn't have the bandwidth they needed, they didn't have the infrastructure they needed, they weren't able to get from point A to point B from a network perspective. One of the big things we did for them is we were able to bring wireless all throughout the mall. It was a big factor for them going forward and being able to be able to grow the shopping center. All that interconnectivity, that high visibility, we wouldn't be able to do that without Cisco. So that was a perfect fit for them, perfect fit for us. The R2 solution that we brought in originally was really just from a networking perspective. So again, we were able to bring in the routers, the switches, the firewalls to interconnect the entire shopping center from Bal Harbour Shops' perspective, what they needed to do. We were able to do some different things with video, collaboration, telepresence, Jabber. So now they can Jabber inter-office. They have another satellite office down in South Beach. So they're able to communicate back and forth via Jabber, via video. They have scheduled weekly, even sometimes daily video calls.
I'm certain our tenants are happier, happier to see this system roll out. It makes their process more efficient. It makes our process more efficient. And it helps us to get to where we want to get to, which is ultimately to have a successful store and a successful shopping center. In short, it's a very strong relationship. When it came down to it, R2 had the skills and the talent and the people in place to support all of our needs. They could support both the PC environment, the network, and the networking, and everything else that we require, handheld devices, PCs, the whole set, the whole picture.
The relationship has evolved, pretty well. They're looking to expand. There's been a development project for 2-3 years now about them expanding the mall. R2 is going to be a key player in doing that because we're going to need to bring more connectivity to other parts of the mall. I like the way things are going for R2, and I like the way things are going for Bal Harbour Shops as well. There's a million IT providers out there. You can throw a rock and find one. What separates us from most is that customer service, engineering, and we have people who care. That's how we like to go to market for our customers.